Well, hello everyone. Steve Garfield here from stevegarfield.com, and it's another episode of Hello Millie, where we bring my mom on to talk with me, and we're going to bring her on right now. Let's get her all set up. Hi, Mom.
Hi, Steve. Hi, everyone.
You're right. Hi, everyone. Well, we made it, Mom. We made it to the show today.
Right. I had 15 minutes to get ready. I'm ready.
Me too. Me too. Last minute. So, what was your day like today?
Oh, what a question that is. I had a tight schedule today. I had someone come visit me this morning. She was a lovely lady, and she made my breakfast. And I sat there, and she brought me scrambled eggs and toast, coffee, and fruit. Was very nice, and her company was very good. When after she left, after I had breakfast, I did a few little things, not too much, and before I knew it, it was lunchtime, and I had a 1 o'clock appointment with an OT. I had to be down there to get some therapy for my fingers. My fingers are not behaving. And she's right down the hall from me. So I didn't have to take a car or a train or a plane or anything. She's right down the hall. Had a nice visit with her. She's the lady I spoke about last week.
With the wallet, yep. The golden wallet,
I
yep.
had my eyeglass case in my walker package there. Just in case there was an opening, I would have pulled it out. But today we didn't get into it.
Yep.
But leaving that in my wallet, just in case for the future.
Great preparation.
Yep. And then after I left her, I had about a half hour till my old wonderful housekeeper came. I haven't used her in a long time, but she has some clients here in this building, and we have arranged to make a date for her to come down for a cup of coffee and when she's in the building. And sure enough, she came down. I came home at 2 o'clock. I had a good cold drink. And 2:30, my doorbell rang, and it was Marina. And she was happy to see me. I was happy to see her.
That's great.
Yeah, we chatted, and she didn't want any coffee. I was going to make some hot coffee. No, she didn't have coffee. And I had a nutritious drink. She chose water, and we had delicious coffee cake.
Oh, yep.
Yep.
You gave me some of that. It is delicious.
Right. And we had a very good conversation. We had a nice visit, and I let her know when she came in that I had to be ready for showtime, and I needed a few minutes to get ready for this.
Right.
So she watched the clock, and it was about 3:45, and she said, "Okay, it's time to say goodbye." And I said, "I really enjoyed your company," and she says, "I enjoyed yours too," and we both needed this visit. That was very nice. And so before I knew it, the 15 minutes was up, and I put on a top and lipstick, and I put on the lighting, and I'm ready.
Very good. I had my busy day included getting gas for the car, going to Home Depot and buying some things. Actually, I have this gallery hanging system with wires, and on Facebook, I got an ad today for this artwork, and you could have any kind of artwork you wanted, and you could look up Van Gogh, Monet, all the masters, or modern people, and they had the sunflowers, which I didn't get, but then I saw another photo art. It was really colorful, and I thought that would be nice. So, and also what you can do is you can take the one canvas and make it into three, so they're separate a little, so you can take the same image and you just put it on three canvases, and it's a triptych is what they call it.
A triptych sounds good.
Yep. So I sent that to Carol to see if she would like it, and she messaged me back and she said, I don't want any other people's art, I want your photos on there.
Oh,
I would prefer to have a photo you took instead of just some, any of these art pieces. So I went, okay. So I went back and looked at the site again where you can buy these pieces of art, and they had drop down list for artists. And so I looked at that and I said, oh, maybe I'll sign up to be an artist, and then I'll submit my photo, and then I could buy it. So I looked at that a little while, and then it said create your own, and I clicked on that, and it said upload your photo. So on the site, I could take my photo and send it up there, and they'll make it for you. You don't even have to register as an artist. So I don't know if you saw that one I took recently of the Sagamore Bridge. Beautiful photo of the bridge. I can get it later and show it to you. But I uploaded that and put it in. I ordered my one photo is now going to be on 3 canvases.
Oh, that sounds wonderful.
Yep, I ordered that.
Great.
So that was one thing I did. And then in the middle of shopping, I got a text message from, let's say, my doctor's office saying that I could register for the COVID shot. So I clicked that button, and it gave me a list of places to choose from and dates. And so next week, I'm going to get shot number 1.
And where are you going to have to go to get it?
Somerville, which isn't bad.
Okay.
The other choices were Northampton, Amherst, crazy, 2-hour away places. But Somerville's close, so I picked that. And it's not easy to get this shot. You don't know that I was on CVS, Walgreens, this other website, and you keep refreshing it for places to come up where it's available, and it's hard to get. It's not available. But out of the blue, my doctor's office said, here, sign up, which is the way it should be. They know you need it, and they give you a date and a time, and you go get it. So I'm all set now.
Good.
You should be more excited about this. I think it's a big deal.
It is.
Okay. It is. So we usually get together and talk about a question from my friend Jan's book, 23 Things I Wish I Could Ask My Mom and Dad Today. But you are surprising me today. And instead of Jan's book, you picked a question from a little deck of cards I gave you.
Yes.
Let's see that. Do you have it?
Yes, right here.
Yep. It's called Our Story. And it has it's like a bunch of playing cards with questions on them.
100 cards in here. 100 questions.
Wow. So what did you pick?
What I picked was...
I can put it up here on the screen so you can read it.
All right. What is the best piece of advice you ever have been given? I thought that was a meaty question. And I had to think about the answer, just like Jan's questions. You don't get the answer. It doesn't come to you right away. But I thought a while for this one, and I came up with one good one. And I kept thinking about it. And I thought of another one. So I have 2 good stories to tell about what influenced my life. Yes. All right. So you want to hear my questions?
I do. Yes. What's the best piece of advice that you have ever been given? Right. I want to hear it. Let's go.
I'll give you a background on this one. My husband and I used to go to Florida every winter. He had a lot of vacation from GE. As the years went on, his vacation built up. He had got 2 weeks, he got 4 weeks, he got 6 weeks, he got 8 weeks. So gradually, we took those vacations piece by piece, and we would go to Florida and increased our trips because he had all this time. And we loved it. We enjoyed it 100%. And then after a number of years, my husband passed away. And I had to make a decision. Am I going to go to Florida myself or not go to Florida anymore, just stay home to the New England hard winters? And I was thinking about it, and I'm not jumping to a quick decision. And then, fortunately, one day I had a conversation with a friend who used to spend some time with us in the winter in Florida. And she made her point. She made a good point. Millie, I don't remember her exact words, but in essence, what she was saying to me, you should continue to go to Florida. So I took that message to heart and gave it more thought and said, yes, I am going to go. And I knew a lot of the things that you had to do. You have to hire the car, you have to get the airline tickets, you have to do many details. But I'd been through all that, so it wasn't anything new for me. Okay, so I did that and I got down there. I had a place, I got down there. And it wasn't easy because I was down there previously. I was down there with my husband. So we had a couple friends and I was all set. We had things to do together, places to go. But now I was starting a new life for myself on my own. And so that first season wasn't easy, but I started to get settled and started to feel comfortable. And what I realized after that, and then I kept going every year after that, I went, no question. But I realized that first year that I went myself was very important that I go myself. If I had waited and stayed home and not gone till the second or third year, it would have been harder. And most likely I would not have gone. But fortunately, that friend's advice paid off for me. And as the years went on, I built wonderful friendships and went different places with different people. So that was a very good decision that she helped me make. So that was that. And then I still kept thinking about who else influenced my life for the better. I kept thinking and thinking, and I thought of another one. This was maybe 15 or 20. Oh, that first one was like, this was about 25 years ago. Now, this one was more like maybe 15 years ago. I was in my ranch house after Aaron died, my husband, and time came I had to make a move out of this little ranch. Living alone wasn't good. And so I had a decision to make. Should I move to Peabody near me, where I knew people? I had friends there, and I was comfortable in Peabody. The mall was there. My friends were there. It was a nice development, but very popular at that time. And when I looked at Ledgewood, this condo, there was only one available, and really it was not really available at that time because it was a rental, and there was a renter in that apartment, and who knew when he was going to get out. When I went to visit my lawyer, for whatever reason, he was a nice guy. He listened to what I had to say, and he told me, if there's a renter living in the apartment and the owner tells the renter he has to leave, someone else wants to buy it, he's going to have a hard time getting that guy out of there. So the lawyer suggested to me, I think otherwise, because that could be a problem. So that made a big influence on me. I listened to him. And I also knew of a place in Swampscott. There was a condo. I had friends there also, near the beach, near wonderful malls. And I knew a few people there. And so I made the decision to move to this development in Swampscott, which turned out to be the best thing I could have done. Peabody probably would have worked out too, but might have been a problem. But this one was great. So those are the two biggest decisions. That's my meal being delivered. Let it sit there. So those were the two big influences on my life. Peabody probably would have been okay, but the one in Swampscott worked out much better. I had a lot of friends and a good area. So those are my two. And I stopped thinking after that. I can't think of any other one that would make such a difference in my life. And now I want to ask Steve the same question. I'd be interested to hear what he has to say.
Okay,
Okay,
I'll
I'll
answer
answer
it.
it.
And I'm just going to mute you so we don't get an echo for now, which is going to be fine. You can hear me, right? Yep, okay. So these are thought-provoking questions. What is the best piece of advice you have ever been given? And I guess I had a choice of a few, but the best one was if you don't if you don't tell people what you want, they won't know. That's the that's the advice.
And who gave you that advice?
I can't really remember exactly who, but I can get to that, but I'll tell you how it
All right.
was important, and then we can go back and try and figure out where that came from.
Okay.
I was involved in the early stages of video on the web, as you know, always experimenting with new and different video things. And I started experimenting with these Nokia phones that could shoot pretty good video. One of the first little smartphones that could shoot video. So I was shooting video with the Nokia phone. And then I found this software called Quick, which let me go live from the smartphone from your hand, which was a big deal. It was early days before the iPhone and everything. So I was out there live streaming with Quick on the Nokia phone, and I went up to New Hampshire for the Democratic primaries, and I was following candidates in the street, and I interviewed one of the candidates with my cell phone. I said I wanted to interview the candidate, and the person who managed all the interviews said, "Well, we're going to have to set that up and everything." And I said, "No, now here with this phone." And she was like, "Oh, go ahead." So that was pretty cool. And I got to go down the street and interview him while we were walking down the street. So the company Quick saw that, and then they sent me a better Nokia phone because they saw how much video online I was doing, because they wanted their software to look good. So they gave me a better phone. And then I had some suggestions for the software. I started talking to their developers, and I had new feature requests, and they put them in. They called them the Steve Garfield request. So I was working very carefully with the company. I would go speak in conferences around the country, and I had Quick come and be on panels with me to talk about what we were all doing together. And at one of the conferences, I was talking to one of the founders, and I said, if there's ever an opportunity to invest, I'd be interested. And so then sometime later, he came to me and he said, "We're doing a friends and family round, and we'd like you to participate because you've helped us so much." So I put in a little bit of money. I wasn't, I was still, I was just on my own little business. I put in a little bit of money, but then Quick got bought by Skype, which is a big company. And I made a lot of money off of the little money that I put in there. And so that I said, "Oh, this is what angel investing is all about." So that's how everything changed for me when I figured out how to work with little companies, get involved, be able to invest early in something that you're passionate about, that I know about, and that seemed to be like a groundbreaking kind of thing. So that turned into a little pattern for me from that little advice.
Okay.
And I'll tell you, Ma, one thing that I just remembered today was when I wanted to get my first job, and I tried to get a job at Zaire in Saugus, and I put in an application and I didn't hear back. You said, "Call him again, keep calling." So I kept calling and calling and calling, and they said, "Boy, this guy really wants to work here." And they hired me. And they hired me because no one else kept calling and calling and calling. It was what they felt was I was the person who most wanted to work there. And it's a similar story where I told them that I was interested.
Okay. That's a
Right?
good one.
Yep.
Persistence paid off.
Right. Oh, Bob Farnham says brilliant. Thanks, Bob. So is that all we have for the questions, Ma? Question and answers?
Well, I stopped after those two. I didn't think of anything else, but I'm going to use it. I'm anxious to use a question like this when I finally get to the dining room. I'm getting closer because now they're taking reservations and they're opening the dining room as far as I can read and see and hear. They're not limiting attendance. You just need a reservation. And I'm going to ask a question like this at the dinner table. And the people that I've been talking to today, and I'm telling about this story here, and they don't come up with an answer. When I tell them the question, it's a question you can't answer in a minute. You have to think about it. So I planted the seed with them, to some of them today, and let's see what I can generate when we go have dinner together.
Wow, that's exciting because the last few shows you said that what was most important thing you look forward to was getting together with people and going to dinner again. And now they're opening up the dining room.
But if you spoke to me yesterday, you'd hear a different story. Brixby's very efficient. They are so good. They have a problem. They have the people that can solve the problems, and they straighten it out right away. Well, yesterday was the first day, to my knowledge, that they started again with a new system for getting the meal to the resident. And you have choices. You can either call several different numbers, call by between 10 and 2. So you have to be home between 10 and 2 to place the call to order your meal delivered for that day.
Well, wait a second. Why aren't they using a computer?
They'll get to that. They're going to get to that any minute now.
Okay, good.
Good question. But when this started the other day, I don't know if it's still working properly. But yesterday, I had to call. I had to get a call in to place an order, and I'm calling the numbers and I'm leaving message. Everyone wants me to leave a message, and they're not calling me back. I can't stay here all day holding the phone waiting for them to answer me. And I can't leave the house either because I want the dinner for at night. So my phone rang, like just now it rang.
That's not me.
That's not you. No. Let me leave a message.
Call from Amesbury, NA.
I didn't.
Call from Amesbury, NA.
Anyway, I got it while I'm sitting there. While I'm sitting there, I got a phone call, which I picked up, and it was a friend of mine. And she said, Millie, this is the number to call. Call it right away, because she had been having trouble getting the other numbers. So she was anxious. So after we hung up, I called that number. Some man picked up the phone, very pleasant guy. I gave him my order. So they must have put someone else on the phone because so many people were calling. There are 1,800 people here. So not all 1,800 are calling, but a good number were calling. People couldn't get through.
You're making a call for what?
For dinner for that night. Every day now, if I want
they changed it.
I have to call every day. Be sure to call between 10 and 2 and tell them you want it delivered. So he was very pleasant. I did, okay, fine. So today I had to make another call. And I said, I'm going to try the numbers I tried yesterday where I couldn't get through.
Right.
I called one of the numbers. Someone answered the phone right away.
Mm-hmm.
And I was able to place my order. So I think 1 million people must have complained, and they made another line. They did something so the people didn't have to hang on for hours to place a call.
Right. Now, but what about dining room reservations?
Well, that's a separate number. That's a separate number which you can only call between Sunday and Wednesday at certain times. And somehow I wound up as being the person who gets the girls together to make the date. So I got 6 people together.
Oh, so you're going to make that reservation?
Yeah, but I have to tell them the name of every person that's
Yep.
going to be. And oh, so we chose innocently, we chose the 27th of September, which turns March, which turns out to be Passover. It's Passover. So the girls don't want to go out to eat on Passover. So we had to rethink that thing. And now we have a date pending for the first Sunday in April.
Oh, wow.
I'm not even going to try now because I could be stuck on the phone. Or if he answers, he's not going to want to take it that far in advance. So now I have a note right here because I don't want to miss out. So
well, maybe they would. Why don't you give a call and see if they'll make that reservation? What's the worst you can say is no.
Right. A good idea. Maybe I'll have that right here because I'm responsible for making the table. And
okay.
I don't want to lose out. And I want to be. Oh, they said you don't have to make a reservation, but it's advisable.
Right.
If you walk in, you could have them wait. Where if you have a reservation, you'll have a table.
When are they going to put this whole thing on the computer?
I think I don't know, but they're working on it now. And from what I understand, yeah, but I don't know. They'll let him come back.
You could go because this is like the half-hour end of the show wrap up, so we could wrap it up.
I have to hurry up and go and see who was there.
Okay, we had a good show.
All right. I said enough.
And you can go answer the door.
I can do what?
Answer the door.
Okay, I'll go answer the door.
All right.
Bye, everyone. Great visit.
Bye, Mom.
So long, everyone. Bye-bye.